Hey everyone, this is Josh from before. I'm here with McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Bloodsport from Suicide Squad. And I've got to say, first impression, just based on the look, I think this might be my least favorite from this wave. It feels like it's going to maybe be the least impressive for a few reasons. Paint being a big one, and then the other one being no fault of Todd's really, but it looks like Warner Brothers DC is mandating that no firearms are to be used in any sort of promotional materials or merchandise, which means our Bloodsport here has got two sword type weapons instead of his crazy futuristic guns. So let's get him out of here. Let's not judge him before we actually get to take a look at him. Let's see what we're working with. He comes with King Shark's torso. As you can see, it's very big. It's gonna be fun to put together. So he definitely looks a bit more impressive already out of the package. This is just a personal thing. I usually do not care for navy blue at all. It's just a little too dark, and it's really easy for it to not have any definition. And when you got something like this with severely limited paint apps, it can just look a little just too flat. Trying to bring out the shine of this helmet. Really could have used, like, come on, man. Like, they really needed to go the extra mile to make this chrome dome work. Bloodsport's costume design is pretty damn cool, but it's also just that, like, tactical, it's not generic, but just that, that tactical look that is kind of almost every single superhero design is going after these days, which just gets a little tired in my opinion. But it suits this character, obviously. I'm gonna start moving him around. Definitely has some movement in here in this shoulder. And the arms get really, they get above 90. Biceps cuts are in here. Double elbows are a little limited by his forearm gauntlets, but they still get up pretty high. These are kind of like the way Aquaman's big gauntlets and boots were. They're a softer material on top of this, which it feels nice. It feels premium. He's got a soft torso, so it looks like he's just got, when you see him, you're like, man, that is a super rigid torso. Well, it's actually soft, so theoretically he should be able to get a little bit of range either direction. This is kind of similar to how they did Last Night on Earth. Batman, man, get moving him forwards. No, I don't think he's gonna get. Here's the thing. These the soft material on the torsos, I think it's a fantastic idea, but they're still chasing their gold standard, which was this Joker. It was one of the first figures they released in this whole multiverse wave, and it's to this day one of the best ones, because it really, those ratchets inside really catch, and this is just a little too stiff, and it doesn't. If you try to push this front thing over the belt, maybe you can get a little further. But generally they have that nice ratchet in there that will catch and hold it, and it's not getting there. Almost no rotation in the hips, which if you watch my videos a lot, that's one of my favorite things, that they're able to get into these leg joints, but they don't have it in here, unfortunately. That's because usually it can take the place of a thigh cut. Sometimes you get that rotation to work, but the briefs here, the cut is a little weird, but it does let him get pretty high up here. The boots look really nice, and they've hidden this ball joint pretty well while still having the rotation or the articulation pretty accessible. Doesn't have the most range in the world. Toes, obviously. A little bit of detail on the bottom of the boot. So paint is what's missing on this thing. It just looks too flat. There's too many details that aren't you know, aided by additional paint that just get lost. There's this nice little complementary like metallic teal that probably could have got, you know, just touch a couple more spots on there. Jeez Louise. Like, do something. This is just really, it's just a really cool costume design, and they've done it very little favor by neglecting the paint. Which is just, I mean, that I know that's a reality of the world we live in now with the way what toys cost, manufacturing costs and stuff like this. And I mean, and this is also, they went really hard with this King Shark Build-A-Fig. It's huge. It's going to be huge. And I understand that's part of how they amortize the cost. You know, they stretch them out across, you know, some figures cost more to produce than others, and that's how they kind of make their average per figure cost, and et cetera, et cetera. But this guy just feels like underloved. So he's got two of these unusual looking swords. Does he use these in the movies? No idea. All I know is that in all the trailers, he's got guns. And it's hard to throw a lot of blame at McFarlane for a corporate mandate. I think the mandate is really, how did I say this? First of all, like I definitely respect the idea that they're trying to reduce children's exposure to guns. You know, I think our culture is way too obsessed with guns. But at the same time, this is an R-rated movie full of guns, and this character's main thing is that he pulls guns. I don't know if in the movie if he teleports the guns, or if they're these weird like nano shifting, changing things that he kind of pulls off of his costume. I can't tell yet because I haven't seen the movie. Anyway, it's an R-rated movie, and this character's main thing is guns. And I know they've got, like, they put the Wonder Woman figures and they put the video game figures over in that NECA section that's for, like, adult collectors. So maybe you put your R-rated movie figures in the adult section and have guns. I just think, like, it's way too complex. Firearms and, you know, children's exposure to violence is way more of a complex subject than just a simple hard fast rule of no guns anymore. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's just, I just realized I never moved this guy's head at all. Pretty good. Not as much range as Peacemaker, it doesn't feel like, but he's got these sharp, you know, jawline, and this helmet that comes back around his neck in a way where Peacemaker's helmet had a little more clearance. So, you know, obviously you got to solve this problem of why doesn't this gun character have guns. Here's what I'm going to try. This isn't perfect by any means, but I just gave him Arkham Batman's shock gun. It's a little bit of something. Because the other thing is his guns in the movie are very unusual and distinctive looking. They're not just like assault rifles and stuff. Which is yet another reason they should have been cleared for inclusion with this character. Yeah, that's something that, you know, it's going to take some work to find the perfect gun to suit this guy, but I can't help but think to compare this character, this figure, to this Deathstroke, which a lot of people were super hard on this Deathstroke, and I think they were way too hard on it because it looks rad as hell. But you can just see it's also got pretty minimal paint apps, but they just pop a lot more, and partially the design is really strong. And I've got him in this kind of, you know, little dynamic pose, but you see the difference, you know what I mean? Like, this guy just pops out at you, this guy kind of just recedes to the background, you know what I mean? Nothing, he's got a, like, great helmet, but it's just, he doesn't pop. And not every character needs to be the biggest show-offy costume design, it's just a matter of, it's just when you stand them right next to each other. So here he is with a couple other live-action figures from McFarlane, and yeah, I mean, to me, this guy is obviously bringing up the rear of quality levels in these three. and then maybe put him next to a character like that that's got a little bit more exaggerated style, and you can really see. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't think they got him quite there. The sculpt is okay. You know, this torso feels a little. It just doesn't accentuate his body shape at all. I mean, I think the design of the movie's got a little bit more accentuation of his body shape going on than this. Just think they missed the mark, unfortunately. It's all right, but it's you know, it definitely needs paint, extra paint, if nothing else. If you're bringing this home, like, you're gonna have to do some homework to really get this guy to sing. There you have it, folks. A little disappointing. I'm gonna hang on to him because I like this. I'm excited about this movie and what have you, but I think the figure is suffering from some real undeniable issues, unfortunately. All right, well, that's Bloodsport. Next one's going to be Harley. Hopefully she's a little more impressive. We will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.